When I went searching for rivers in Cyberpunk, I did not expect to discover there are literally zero in the entire game. That's right, zero. Come on, you see this beautiful canal in downtown Night City and think it must be a river, right? Nope. Cyberpunk is dry. Still, there are faint traces of rivers that once existed here, back when this land was lush, beautiful, and absolutely teeming with life. So what happened? Do fish still swim these waters? Or is this place just an ecological dead zone? Do the rivers ever meet up and form something bigger, or do they just vanish into the dust? And most importantly, where do they even come from in the first place? Well, buckle up, chum, because we're about to comb through the smallest details of Cyberpunk's map in search of answers. That means a ton of walking, a ton of driving, and a whole lot of looking at any puddle we come across. We're going from the Badlands all the way to the ocean, so strap in for what might be the wettest or driest road trip of your life. Quick geography lesson. Night City sits right on the edge of Del Coronado Bay. Most of the water you'll see is just the bay itself, plus a few canals and drainage channels, and maybe that reservoir near the dam out in the Badlands. There is Night City Canal that splits part of the map. It basically makes downtown and Haywood to be its own island. However, the water that passes through is ocean water, as you will soon see that it doesn't originate from any rivers nearby. And when it comes to literal rivers, it depends how you define that. But it doesn't mean there aren't little streams still clinging to life. Sure, they might just be the remnants of a once beautiful ecosystem, dried up thanks to pollution, climate shifts and corporate greed, but they're out there, and they exist. Take Laguna Bend for example. This spot might ring a bell if you've done the quest involving Judy. It's actually quite beautiful and peaceful here. We're gonna come back later though, because I've got some serious scouting to do. And by scouting, I mean following this random path that appears to lead exactly nowhere. But if you look closer, it's totally the kind of spot where a river could have flown once upon a time. I mean, check out how close that lake is to overflowing into this spot. One acid rainstorm away from basically becoming Niagara Falls. Before we dive in though, I'm going to summon a vehicle and let's look at this car, guys. It's like a boxy little G-Wagon. Maki guy is indeed splendid. It's such a beast. Let's head down here because this place is literally potential waterfall territory. There are literally patches of grass hanging on for dear life, and the rocks look as if the water ran through here for some years at least. Now if you look further into the distance, you can picture how a river would have totally run through here. So let's move in a little closer because I've got a feeling we're about to stumble onto some real watery secrets. Pun intended. And guess what? We actually found water. I mean, more like some wetness, but not some imaginary stuff. It's legit wet down here, which means there's definitely a stream running through. It's not the raging river you might think of, but hey, at least it's not completely bone dry. Something's feeding this place, but what could it be? Like, could it be the dam up there? Sure, that structure is supposed to keep the water in or out, but if the levels were higher, could this spot also be flooded? For now, we follow it, and as we do, it becomes more apparent this was carved during the years to have held an entire river of greater depths than what it is right now. But guess what? We see something peculiar in the distance. There's a camper out here, a melee weapon vendor.
You live here alone?
Yep, all on my lonesome.
Raids don't give you any trouble?
Few of them tried, put him to sleep out by the road.
She says she lives here alone, but she's got 2 chairs and 2 lounge seats. Who's the mystery guest? I don't suppose many people come out here to see where rivers originate from. Anyway, we got no time to waste. The sun is dipping, and I need to see how far this watery path goes. So we press on. And guess what? Out of nowhere, we stumble onto a man-made bridge. Naturally, below it, passerbys throw their trash. I guess it's no wonder sharks are extinct in Cyberpunk's universe. With all this pollution, it's basically a microplastic playground out here. Oh, and check out this giant water pipe. Or is it a drainage pipe? Could this be the real source of the stream? Probably not. Either way, I love how the devs bother to show more greenery in the dam spots. It's a tiny oasis in this otherwise trash-littered wasteland. But we're not done yet. We keep pushing forward, determined to find the actual source, or maybe the end of this mystery. Will it lead to more water, or is it just another dead end? Let's keep going while the daylight lasts, because out here, it's more than just melee weapon vendors. Who knows what nighttime has to offer? By the way, if you guys are afraid of the dark, you may leave a like. If you aren't, then comment. I will eat Biotechnica burger. So as I said, let's keep going. We are definitely nearing the border. Eventually, we stumble upon a place called Rattlesnake Creek. Pretty fitting name for a spot that's basically on the edge of the world. This area is an AWAC zone, meaning we're under constant surveillance and there's always the possibility some robot or drone might decide to annihilate us. We inch closer, eyeing that imposing border wall looming in the distance, and just like that, the water ends. Seriously, it starts out of nowhere and ends out of nowhere. How does that even happen? My curiosity is going ballistic at this point. There's gotta be something here, so I move forward a bit, spot a suspicious looking tunnel, and decide to go full no clip to satisfy my curiosity, and of course, that only opens up more questions. It would have been too good to be true to just get the answer straight up. Is this some secret smuggling tunnel for border crossing? A waterway that's supposed to drain out into somewhere? More than likely, it's just a leftover location from a cutscene or quest. Nothing to see here, chum. Logically, we know from Judy's questline the lake was dammed about 15 years ago, so if water ever flowed this way, it would have just evaporated ages ago. Explains why we're only dealing with puddles, not full-blown rivers. Speaking of, let's take a quick peek at the in-game map. There's something that looks suspiciously like a river, but is it really a river? Or just a fancy canal? The answer is that it's clearly man-made, which begs the question, where does it begin and where does it end? And where else does it go? Let's jump in and find out, because you'd be surprised at how this works. Alright guys, time to trace this so-called river from the beginning. If we follow it from here, we'll see it splits off somewhere ahead. Naturally, I'm going to check both routes because I have zero chill when it comes to half-finished waterways. So let's go! Wait, why am I here? Did I just glitch into the water? Okay, guess I'm taking a swim. No worries guys, I've got my nifty charge jump to keep me from getting completely soaked. And once we crawl out onto the shore, we call up our trusty Maki guy. Not the fancy one, mind you, the lone mower engine Maki guy. The best, the loudest, and the one that turns heads for all the wrong reasons. But hey, it's got aura guys, come on. So we cruise along the canal, taking in Night City's neon skyline. The plan is to reach a bridge for a better vantage point. And sure enough, we got here. Look at this. On one side, it continues for a bit. Then guess what? Dead end. On the other, it eventually splits in two. One side ends abruptly, the other spills into the ocean. Obviously, I can't just leave it at that. If something ends abruptly in Night City, we have to investigate. So let's head back, see where this thing goes, or doesn't go, and figure out if it's a legit water source or if it leads nowhere. One tiny issue though, our trusty Maki guy crawls like a snail after too many beers, so I swap it for a Caliburn, and now we're really talking, and after a bit of fast driving, we roll up on what can only be described as Night City's trash-filled canal appendix. The infrastructure is impressive here, don't get me wrong, but like everything else in Night City, it's absolutely loaded with garbage. We've got trash in the water, trash on the banks, there's even a dead person lying around. Real welcoming. This place is more landfill than natural waterway, and all these pipes, sewer outfalls I'm guessing, looks randomly stuck into the walls. Some might actually do something, but most just sit there, leaking who knows what into the canal. Anyways, our mission is accomplished for now. This river apparently leads nowhere, and it's time to bounce. Teleporting back to our starting point, we cruise alongside Japantown. We pass by Ray's house, not stopping because rumor has it some poor souls going cyber psycho nearby, and that is not on my to-do list. We keep one eye on the canal, waiting to see if it branches out anywhere. Then we catch a glimpse of a civilian strolling over the canal on a pretty neat walkway. People claim Night City is some dystopian hellscape, but moments like this, you can almost see the charm. It's honestly a cool spot for photos, a good place to update your friends on social media, and of course, you can't ignore the drainage pipes and sewage lines. Alright, show's over, back to the car. The sun's dropping fast and we've got plenty left to explore. Now we're approaching another split in the canal. So we've got two branching waterways in front of us. A or B? Tough call, but let's start with A. Since it's basically screaming pick me, then we'll circle back and check out B as well. And finally see how it all connects, or doesn't, to the ocean. This spot though, what a vibe. Perfect for a reflective little stroll, soaking up those neon city views. Honestly, the meditation guy from that one quest would have a field day here, just chilling on the pier, chanting or whatever. Anyway, pressing forward, we notice the water thinning out. It's mind-blowing how really intricately built this place is. Did they hire Dutch engineers? Or is this just Night City flexing its infrastructure muscles? As we keep going, we stumble upon a makeshift shelter. Gotta climb up this conveniently placed ladder to see what's up top. Check this out. From up here, we're staring at a storm drain that reveals even more clues about how water flows around Night City. There's also some kind of substation, or maybe a mini hydroelectric dam. Who knows? Either way, props to the devs for this level of detail. This prompts us to go to the very end though. So we hop onto a vehicle and start on our way to see what awaits us. So we make our way alongside all the trash bags and dangers of Night City to see that this is no different than the others. It doesn't really go anywhere. The end is just a trash field separated here by a road. There are worse places in Night City, so yeah, it seems we know what's here, and the same thing, water leads nowhere. Time to roll back to the last checkpoint on the bridge, and we choose B and we make our way alongside the canal again. We reach a higher elevation that's less built up, or industrialized I guess, but still organized enough to feel civilized. And this is where our canal finally meets the ocean. The current's so gentle, it's not even obvious which way the water's flowing. But hey, it's a rare calm in a city that's anything but that. Alright, that's it for the Night City Canal tour, guys. We know everything, we know where it all leads, and as I stated, we are looking for an actual river. A canal is usually man-made, while a river is made by nature and usually comes from a stream of water. Time to hunt for a proper river. Something actually shaped by nature, not a man-made ditch filled with trash. Let's start where we've been before, in Rocky Ridge, a small abandoned village. If we drive up from here, we eventually arrive at this massive valley. Clearly a river once carved its way through here. There's even a bit of water left if you look close enough. It's this rugged, rocky canyon, probably crafted by the devs as a natural boundary for the map, but even so, it's a fantastic find for anyone who appreciates the game's hidden details. Now you can really imagine how this valley might have looked like in the past, but now what's left is little more than shattered puddles and a sand riverbed that's mostly dry. I think there was at one point a plan to build a bridge to connect everything, but was probably discarded. However, for those of you interested, this is what it looks like from up there, and it's a sight to behold indeed. So this all leads to a total of 0 rivers, I would say. I honestly cannot consider this one a river, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, because I'm really curious if there's anything that I could be missing on this. And also, drop a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed this video, because I'll be posting many more. And until next time, stay clear of acid rain, and most importantly, stay out of the Badlands.